A nail, a loose screw, a gust of wind. That's all it takes. You're not safe in your car, not safe in a hospital bed, not safe watching this video. Because for the next 10 minutes, we're going inside the franchise that made death itself the villain. No mask, no knife, no name, just the design. This is Final Destination. Every film, every kill, every secret, and what comes next. Before there was a franchise, there was a what if. Late 90s. Writer Jeffrey Reddick reads a news story. A woman's mother begged her not to board a flight. She listened. The plane crashed. Everyone on board, dead. Reddick asks himself, what if death doesn't just let her go? He pitches a spec script. New Line bites. Writers James Wong and Glenn Morgan reshape it. In March 2000, Final Destination hits theaters. Teenager Alex Browning has a vivid premonition. His Paris-bound plane explodes in midair. He panics, gets himself and a handful of classmates off the plane. Then the plane actually explodes. They survived. They beat death. Except they didn't. One by one, in elaborate Rube Goldberg chain reactions, a dripping puddle leading to electrocution, a bus out of nowhere, a fallen street lamp, the survivors die. In the exact order they would have died on that plane. You never see death coming. You only see what it leaves behind. $112 million on a $23 million budget. Critics cautious. Audiences hooked. A franchise is born. Let's run through each film, fast, because you've got places to be, and hopefully you survive to get there. The sequel had one job: top the original's opening disaster. It succeeded wildly. Kimberly Corman has a premonition of a massive highway pileup, log truck, airborne bikes, a guy impaled by rebar. She blocks the on-ramp. People live. Death is furious. FD2 expands the mythology. New life can reset death's chain. It brings back survivor Clear Rivers and introduces the enigmatic mortician William Bloodworth, played by Tony Todd, who seems to know exactly how death works, but won't say. Every scene he's in feels like a warning from God. The kills are masterworks of tension. A dentist chair, an exploding airbag, a barbed wire fence, a 6-minute kitchen scene where you dread a falling wine rack the entire time. New cast, roller coaster. Wendy Christensen photographs her friends seconds before a premonition shows her the whole thing derailing. She saves a few. The rest die within the week. Pure popcorn. The kills are theatrical. The central gimmick, photos predicting how people die, is genuinely clever. The tanning bed death remains one of the most disturbing scenes in franchise history. The gimmick this time? 3D. Opening disaster, a NASCAR-style racetrack. Tires in the crowd, scaffolding collapses. Spectacular in 3D, less so on flat screen. The weakest entry. Thin characters, too much CGI. Feels like a victory lap. Still makes $187 million worldwide on a $40 million budget. Death is extremely profitable. And then something unexpected happens. FD5 is genuinely great. Sam Lawton has a premonition about a suspension bridge collapse. He saves coworkers. Death hunts them. But screenwriter Eric Heiserer finds a new rule. Kill someone not on death's list, and you take their remaining years. That one idea creates real stakes. People turn on each other. The horror isn't just the deaths, it's the moral decay. The kills are extraordinary. A gymnastics routine that goes nightmarishly wrong. A laser eye surgery scene that had audiences covering their faces. And the ending? A twist so elegant, it recontextualizes the entire franchise. If you haven't seen it, stop this video and watch it first. $157 million worldwide. Then, silence. 14 years pass. Between 2011 and 2025, the franchise lives in development limbo. A reboot in 2019, scripts drafted, shelved. A first responders angle, also shelved. Then, in 2022, HBO Max enters. New script. Directors Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein are chosen from over 200 candidates after they staged a mock accident in their pitch meeting using pre-recorded footage and visual effects. The executives were terrified. They were immediately hired. Eventually, Warner Brothers pulls it from streaming. This belongs in theaters. May 16th, 2025. Final Destination, Bloodlines arrives. What if the original premonition happened decades ago, and the debt has been collecting interest ever since? In 1969, a woman named Iris Campbell has a vision at the grand opening of a revolving restaurant tower, the Skyview. She sees it collapse. She warns everyone, saves dozens of lives. 55 years later, her granddaughter Stephanie Reyes starts having the same nightmares. She goes home looking for answers. What she finds, her entire family is on death's list. Because Iris cheated death for all of them, the bill is now due. Death's design doesn't just target individuals, it targets a lineage. One grandmother's choice ripples across generations. The kills are unrelenting. A malfunctioning MRI, an exploding cabin, a lawnmower sequence that's genuinely hard to watch. The opening tower collapse is one of the most technically ambitious set pieces in franchise history. A 71-year-old stuntwoman was set on fire during filming, possibly a world record for the oldest person set ablaze on camera. Tony Todd returns as Bloodworth, in what would be one of his final film roles. He passed away in November 2024, before the film's release. The film is dedicated to him. His scenes are a fitting farewell. $317.9 million worldwide, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, the highest-grossing, best-reviewed film in franchise history. Opening weekend? $51.6 million domestically on a $50 million budget. The franchise isn't back. It never really left. It was just waiting. On paper, Final Destination should not be a beloved franchise. No recurring hero, no iconic monster. Every movie is the same plot. Vision, escape, death, 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 twist, end. And yet, 25 years and counting. Why? First, death as a villain is philosophically unbeatable. You can't fight it, reason with it, or outrun it. Every other horror villain has a motive you can exploit. Death just has a design. The horror isn't the gore, it's the inevitability. These films are, at their core, about our inability to accept mortality. Second, the Rube Goldberg kills are participatory. You watch a scene set up, a dripping pipe, a nail in the floor, a loose screw, and your brain starts mapping the chain. You're almost rooting for the kill, then horrified at yourself when it lands. That's a rare trick. Third, these films are genuinely, darkly funny. Dying because you slipped on a puddle that dripped from a refrigerator you bumped into while distracted by a magnet, that's comedy. The franchise knows it. It leans in. As one critic put it after Bloodlines, maybe the best explanation for Final Destination's success is this: it's funny because it's true. When you die, you won't go out with fanfare, but you'll go, and so will everybody else. So, what's next? Final Destination 7 is officially happening. On April 14th, 2026, Warner Brothers announced a release date, May 12th, 2028. Writer Laurie Evans Taylor, who co-wrote Bloodlines, is back. Belgian director Michiel Blanchard, known for the thriller Night Call, is set to direct. Story details are under wraps, but here's the creative philosophy the Bloodlines directors left us with. Death's work is never done. There are always more scores to settle. Bloodlines proved the franchise can be a horror anthology format with consistent mythology. Different characters, different eras, different disasters. We've had a plane, a highway, a coaster, a racetrack, a bridge, a restaurant tower. We haven't had an earthquake, a cruise ship, a war zone. The canvas is enormous. 25 years ago, a writer asked one simple question: what if death came to collect? From that question came 6 films, a devoted fandom, some of the most creative kills in horror history, and a villain that doesn't age, doesn't tire, and always wins in the end. That's the dark comfort of Final Destination. You can cheat death. You can dodge and weave and warn the people you love. But the design exists. It has always existed. And at some point, it's your turn. If you made it this far, congratulations. You've survived the video. No guarantees about what comes next. Like and subscribe for more deep dives, and drop your favorite Final Destination death in the comments. You know you have one.